and we're going to hear their stories. The first scholarship is called the Future Leader of Manitoba Scholarship. It's recognized by a world-class executive search organization, Waterford Global, who I've gotten to know and become friends with. Would you please welcome the Vice President of Client Services to hand out the award to our recipient, Sunny Bajaj. Over to you, Sunny.
Good evening. Give me a minute. What a wonderful event, running into lots of familiar faces. I am truly excited to be here and present the Future Leader of Manitoba Award on behalf of Waterford Global. My name is Sunny Bajaj. I am the Vice President of Client Services. Waterford Global is a Winnipeg-headquartered international executive search and recruitment firm. With me today are our firm's two co-founders, Karen Swiston and Fred Lowen, and my colleague, Justin Makis. Together with the other members of our firm, we help our clients attract and hire the right talent from inside and outside our borders. Having the privilege for over 25 years plus of working with many organizations represented here today, Waterford Global is deeply grateful for your support. As we gather here tonight and honor our two community iconic business leaders, we are also quite excited to identify and recognize a young community leader, the Future Leader of Manitoba Award was established for the purpose of recognizing a deserving young leader, to celebrate the recipient's achievements, to encourage further learning, and to promote ongoing active participation in our community. This year, we're excited to award the scholarship to Leah Morgado. Congratulations, Leah. I wanted to share a little bit about Leah with you. Leah was selected as a president of her JA team and her company, Chipper. Please. This is no small accomplishment, as her team was large, with over 30 students. Leah has a desire to pursue a career in mechanical engineering, which ties in with one of her passions, the North Star program, which stands for Northern Student-Led Arctic Research. In choosing Leah as this year's scholarship recipient, our selection team was struck by the strength of her submission, which included a reference letter from wherein one of her teachers states, Leah is going to do something extraordinary in her life. The thought that this scholarship could be an activator to help her continue to make a difference in the world. Wow, how amazing. We look forward to what you hold for you, Leah, the world, what the future will hold for you, Leah, and for our community. Please extend a warm welcome and a heartfelt congratulations to Leah.
You want to do the picture now before Leah? Okay, do the picture now. Let's get a nice clear picture. Get away out of the lectern. Move over to the side. Got to coach you through this. There you go. That's all right. That's good. We're creating memories. We want a nice clean shot. Okay, thank you, Sunny. Leah, the floor, the entire mat. No.
And this is you.
It's all yours, Leah. No pressure.
Good evening. My name is Leah Morgado, and I'm a grade 12 student at Nelson McIntyre Collegiate. Junior achievement exists to help students gain and develop skills that contribute to success in post-secondary education, business, and entrepreneurial ventures. By providing practical knowledge, hands-on learning experiences, and skill-building workshops to high school students, this program aims to prepare students for success in a global economy. Through junior achievement, we have become entrepreneurs, learned how to design and operate a business, and grown as individuals and teams to achieve success. During the past 6 months, I was president of Chirper, my school's JA company program team. This is my second time being involved with Junior Achievement, and the program has allowed me to experience every aspect of running a company, designing and manufacturing products, managing our finances, keeping a team motivated and on tasks, and creating relationships with other local businesses. Throughout my time in Junior Achievement, I have seen myself grow more as a leader and team member than ever before. I'd like to thank my teammates for their amazing work and contributions this year in the JA Company program, and our advisors for the example they set for us by being such great leaders. I would also like to thank all the sponsors for supporting youth in Manitoba and contributing to our growth through Junior Achievement. Without you all, the program that has taught me so much would not have been possible. Thank you.
More pictures? All right, here we go. Not sure I'm supposed to be in here.
You are right now?
Okay. Thank you, Waterford Global, Sunny and Leah Mercado. What a future. That's what JA does, invest in the future. Caleb back there, if you can hear me in the soundstage, the microphone on the lectern is a bit hollow and a bit of feedback. I don't know if you can adjust on the fly. Our next presenting sponsor is IG Wealth Management Financial Confidence Scholarship. IG Wealth Management Financial Confidence Scholarship, presented by Christine Cowenberg, Head of Financial Planning. Come on up, Christine.
Thanks very much, Greg. Thanks for doing such a great job tonight, and thanks to Greg Leipzig as well for organizing this and inviting me. I am very pleased to be here tonight on behalf of IG Wealth Management to present the Financial Confidence Scholarship. At IG Wealth Management, our vision is to inspire financial confidence in communities across Canada, especially here in Manitoba, home of our head office. We do this through our IG Empower Your Tomorrow program, which focuses on building financial confidence amongst key populations, including youth. Through our local and national partnerships, like the one with JA Manitoba, we aim to provide Canadians with financial guidance and resources that they need to feel confident about their financial future. The JA Company program embodies this as well by empowering young people to gain first-hand skills in business and entrepreneurship, setting them on a path to become successful in whatever path they choose to take and be financially confident. IG Wealth Management is proud to present a $1,000 scholarship to the student who has demonstrated financial understanding and confidence gained through working on the company's financial plan. These skills will serve the student well in their post-secondary education. Tonight's recipient joined the JA Company program this year as a grade 12 student at JH Bruns. He was the VP of Finance at Q Rhythm, a company that developed personalized keychains with favorite songs or albums printed on them with a QR code to allow for easy sharing. I love the creativity. His work included preparing all the necessary financial statements, tracking ongoing expenses, helping manage the budget and banking, and being on top of all payments. And all business owners can relate to all these tasks, right? It feels like being a treasurer of a nonprofit or something, being on top of all this stuff. It's a big job. But he was a true leader, and he supported his team and influenced his colleagues. So congratulations to this year's recipient of the IG Wealth Management Financial Scholarship, Satbinder Gondal.
I want to make sure the lectern's not in the way. It's a tough crowd here getting pictures taken with these kids. I actually think I had a role here. I actually was supposed to actually get the award and hand it out. All right, over to you, Sonia.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Satbinder Gondal, and I'm a grade 12 student at JH Bruns Collegiate. During the past 6 months, I was the VP of Finance at my school's JA Company program team. We collaborated as a group of like-minded and dedicated high school students to create and operate a student-run business. This was my first year being involved with JA, and it was an amazing learning experience. I learned several things from like financial management, teamwork, and unique ways of problem solving, which could be applied in the future, whether it's further education, internship, or professional roles. JA is more than a program. It is a catalyst for professional and personal development. It fosters the essential qualities such as teamwork, leadership, and entrepreneurial spirit, qualities that are important regardless of the career path you choose. I would like to thank my teammates for their hard work and dedication, and I would like to thank our advisors for their mentorship, patience, and support. And I would also like to thank the sponsors. Without all of you, this would not be possible. Thank you for your generous support and investment in the future generation of entrepreneurs and innovators in Manitoba. The opportunity to attend Manitoba Business Hall of Fame dinner was an amazing introduction to the strong, thriving business community of Manitoba and was inspiring to the students in the program who are considering pursuing business and entrepreneurship in the future. Thank you for making this learning opportunity possible for us. Thank you for your support in Manitoba youth and contributing to the growth through junior achievement. Thank you.
Satbinder Gondwal. Ladies and gentlemen, you can have your award back. Congratulations. Christine Cowenberg from IG Wealth, Head of Financial Planning. One more round of applause for Satbinder and Leah. Well done. And thanks to all of you. You guys were awesome listening to these two future leaders as we baby boomers age out. There needs to be a regeneration of business leaders, and JA is serving that purpose. Jeff Koziak, did somebody win the Apple Watch? Somebody is holding back. Somebody's got an Apple Watch. They haven't won it yet. Table 26, if you have that card. Let's keep going with dinner, and all hell will break loose in about 20 minutes with the JAers coming down. Helen and Helen White Band, let's keep it going. Gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's JAR time. There is 40 students that are coming around to your table. Where are you, students? Where are you? Okay, go find a table, go share your hopes and dreams. If you have inventions, something you've made, go. You got 10 minutes. I want to walk around and see a JAR at every single table. Give them your time and your attention. Eat away, doesn't matter. We're on a tight schedule. I like how you drink wine right from the bottle. That's crazy. I love this table. Number 4. Just keep it coming over to 4. Calabrea, by the way, is our wine sponsor, so they're going to really notice a dent in their expense account at this table. All right, here come the JARs. Find a table. How many do we have? Here's a table here. Yeah, go ahead. Go, go, go. Where are the kids? Okay, go ahead. Test. If you are a table that have yet to have a JA, put your hand up. Okay, one table, JA, a table. Who has yet to have a JA at their table? Okay. Right over here. So 5 more minutes. This one here too? The drinking table. Okay, we'll get you somebody. Jay Ayers. Okay, Jay Ayers, wrap it up. I'm hoping that everybody had an opportunity to spend time with the Jay Ayers. Let's give the future of Manitoba's business community a big round of applause. Thank you. Sorry about that, Helen. We're going to start momentarily with the inductee ceremony, so settle in. We're getting a head start here by bringing Mr. Jim Gauthier up on stage. We're going to put you sit right there. Behind him. Yeah, I think you sit right here. So you can see the video. What's going to happen? You're going to watch the video. Special guests come up. You don't know who they are. Give you an award. And if you would escort your father over to the middle of the stage and hand them this award, or carry, or I'll bring this over. Okay. Okay. And the special guests who you don't know come up. They will hand the award. That'll be the ceremony. And then we'll walk over to the other chair. I'll take this one. When you sit down, you sit to the left of me. I'm on the far side. You're in the middle. Senior stick is in the middle. And then it's a nice length. So I'll coach you, but you're going to hold it. Okay, Ree and Greg, are you good to go? Let's do the inductee ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, showtime. Here we go again. That wasn't me. One more time for our J-Airs, our future business leaders of Manitoba. Thank you, J.A. Manitoba. Ladies and gentlemen, our 36th inductee in the Manitoba Business Hall of Fame in support of J.A. Manitoba. Please turn your attention to the screen behind me, and Caleb, please roll the video for Jim Gauthier.
I really think I fell in love with cars as a womb. My dad told me that when I was between 4 and 5 years old, I could name every car on the block. When I was growing up, there was a huge distance of vacant land between where Transcona ended and the city of Winnipeg started. It was all farmland. But over the years, they started moving and moving and moving. And my dad was a mechanic himself. He had this little motorcycle shop behind the house. city came to him and said, look, like we don't want a motorcycle shop and a body shop. We'll give you these 5 acres for nothing. I had worked at Russell Motors. I said, well, let's build a one-car showroom, and we were selling the Studebakers there. So that's how that got started. In the end, we were up doing about 150 new Studebakers a year. And then, of course, they went broke. And without a franchise, we also followed them and went into bankruptcy ourselves. My wife Joyce was my rock. Randy was just born, and we lost our house, and Joyce had to go to work, and here I am now going to asking her for the signature again, okay? So I told her, I said, got a good chance to buy Pan Am Motors, and I think it's a real good deal. She said, you think this one's going to be a good one? I said, yeah, I really do. Okay, where do I sign? Today we're up to five stores, and we have all 4 of our grandchildren involved in them. And now we find that's the conversation at the lake. When all 4 of the kids come out there, it's, I sold this today, I sold that today, I had this one come back today, and it goes on and goes on, and at some point I have to say, enough, okay? We're not here to talk business, we're here to enjoy. Let's go water skiing, let's do something else. So talk business all week long. My life would have been different had Joyce been alive. Her favorite 2 charity choices were animals and children. The Dream Factory and the Humane Society would have been the big ones. For CNIB, Winnipeg finally got chosen to be able to train their own dogs. They came to me and said, would you buy us the first dog? And I said, yeah, but 2 things have to happen. I said, what's that? I said, number 1, it has to be a female. Number 2, his name has to be Joycey. Joycey was trained in Winnipeg by a real great lady. She developed a barking problem at the last month or 2, which is a no-no. But I happened to mention to one of my grandkids, oh, we want him, we want him, we want him, we want him. So anyway, she's in the family now, and she's 7 years old, and beautiful dog. We have 2 more of those in training. We have one Cammy for my granddaughter Cameron, and we have one for Tyson. I'm blessed. I'm really blessed. A lot of dealers today are selling their stores because they don't have what I have. They don't have successors. And he said to me one day, he said, do you have any plans to retire? And I said, well, your office looks right at the front door, right? You can see everything coming in the front door? Yeah. I said, well, when you see Cropel come up and they pull that carriage out, you know it's over. So he got quite a chuckle out of it. That's, until I can't do it anymore, I'll keep doing it.
Randy, please bring the 36th inductee to the center of the stage, please. Special guests are his son to hand the award and his grandchildren, Cameron, Jaden, Kaylin, and Tyson. Come on up and hand out the award to your grandfather. I'll give that to you, Randy. And Jim, you stay standing. Come right here. And it's photo time. This is the ceremony. Here comes your children, your grandchildren. A family moment in a family business. Jim Gauthier, the Jim Gauthier Automotive Group. Congratulations, Jim. Randy, I'll take this. If you take your dad over to that chair, and your grandchildren, if you would head back to your seats and cheer on your grandfather for the fireside chat. No, I'm going to get you to go over to that chair over there. I'm going to put this here because it's a nice display. Our 37th inductee, Dave Johnston of the Johnston Group. Caleb, roll the video.
It just spoke to me forever. It was a little boy falling asleep reading a book, and obviously this is what he's dreaming about. And he's on a paper airplane flying through the sky, and it was kind of journey of the imagination. And I kind of always looked at our business as a little bit of a kind of a journey of the imagination. When I was 25, I probably looked 11. I was up a lot in the rural areas selling when I was young. For somebody who wasn't ever focused during school and everything like that, I found all of a sudden it was really interesting to go into these little businesses and figure out what people did for a living. Would drive up number 6, 4, 5, 6 times a year to Thompson, Lynn Lake, then across to Flin Flon, Paw. I loved it. My mother, she was involved in Children's Theatre, Manitoba Theatre Centre, Canada Council. In those days, small companies had a real hard time getting access to group benefits. I mean, my dad was a great guy, had an idea for a plan for chambers of commerce. That was the real purpose of it, to provide benefits to people that couldn't get access to other benefits. He was successful insurance salesman, but he was probably full-time volunteer and part-time insurance. It became pretty obvious that my father, who was doing the consulting, was going to get cut out by them. I said, what would we do? I said, you keep consulting. I'll set up a company that does administration and marketing, and I'll manage that. You don't have to worry about that at all. While I was concerned that it wasn't fair to my father, at the same time, I thought, there's a way better way to do this. That was sort of a thought in 1982, and that's probably the identical thought that we have today. There's always a better way to keep doing this. We do a lot of work in the community, but the core of everything is around the United Way. It supports 100 or more agencies in the city, but we would probably support another 100 or 125 or more agencies. That excitement to give back to the community, it spreads to everybody in the building. Our participation numbers for United Way are higher than virtually every other company in the city. I think the milestone for us was to say, like we just kept pouring everything back in, and all of a sudden when, it was semi-profitable, we started introducing things around here like sabbaticals and bonuses for every employee, and make it a workplace that people wake up in the morning and say, I wouldn't mind sleeping in, but if I got to go to work, this is where I'd like to work. I would get a call about once a week from somebody, east or west, saying, we'd like to buy your company. And I just pushed them off. They kept on saying, why? 80% of the jobs would be out of Winnipeg within about 2 years. The other aspect would be that someone would come in and they would change the culture. And they would say, why are you giving all this money? Like, we're not gonna give all this money to the community. So, I mean, to me, if we sell, everybody loses. Both my sons work in the business and are very involved. Diane's very involved in that. She has been since day one. They're part of creating what we're looking at, which is, a forever company. It continues to grow. that it continues to be very relevant, that it continues to be innovative, that the people that work here still love to work here, that if it doubles in size, then maybe we quadruple what we're giving to the community, and if it quadruples in size, we go up 15-fold what we give to the community. That would be a good long-term goal for me.
I'd like to call to the stage Dave Johnston's sons, Matt and Will Johnston, to hand out this prestigious award to their father. Take your time. I'm not on a tight schedule. Not at all. And joining them on stage is our 37th inductee in the Manitoba Business Hall of Fame, Mr. Dave Johnston. Once again, another family moment in a prosperous family business. I actually want you guys to move to the right a little bit too, right in here, right in the center. There's, I gotta line up the chairs accordingly. Congratulations to our 37th inductee. Dave, I'll take that. Thank you. Matt, that was awkward, wasn't it? That was awkward. Let's do it this way. Thank you, honey. All right, you have a seat right here. Matt, Will, thank you. And Jim, Randy, if you give Jim a hand, and we're going to put you right in the middle. Perfect. Well, we'll stand. We'll wait till Jim comes, right? Yeah, I know you are. I'm taking my cue from you. We're going to put you right in the middle. Yep. Okay. Dave, you want to just test your microphone? Actually, do you want a shot right now of Jim? Don't stand just yet. Dave, hold him up for crying out loud. All right, here. All right, there you go. How about a round of applause for these guys? These guys are legends in the community. Are you good? Do you want your cane at all for support at all at any time? Do you want your cane? Would you like your cane? No, I'm good. Okay. You think I'm crippled? No. He says, do I think he's crippled? That's what he said to me. Well, okay, let's go through the fireside chat format. We're going to talk for about 30 minutes or so. If I'm dying up here with them, I'm shutting it down early. If we're killing it, we might go 35 minutes. We're then going to stop. Then I go into something I've been doing for years in this role, rapid fire questions. Generally, if there's one guest, it's 10 questions tonight. They get 7. They have no idea what the questions are. They will answer whatever comes to their mind with the question. So we have ice cream cone microphones, not lapels. So I need, when you speak, to hold the microphone up to your mouth. Check, check.
Check.
Check, check.
Check.
Check, check.
Check, check.
Check, check.
Check, check.
Closer, Jim. It's going to be a long interview. One more time. Check, check.
Check, check.
Thank you. I have a reputation, you know. Gentlemen, first of all, congratulations on a well-earned inductee. This is not somebody who is starting out in business in life. It's somebody who has exemplified in a complete body of work in business and in community and in your personal life. So I am pleased to have this opportunity to connect with you in this manner. Let me start with you, Dave. You've been asked many times to receive awards. It's fact that you've declined. You've even personally declined me at the CEO Luncheon Series that we had for many, many years. You did, however, say yes to the United Way because you're so embedded in that, but generally you say no. You said yes to this tonight. I'm quite sure you would have been asked before, why did you say yes?
Now, there's a really good question. I might have given you a different answer if I was sitting down there, but now I'm sitting up here. It's a great organization. We've been involved with the dinner. We think it's fantastic. when Greg asked me, he said, would you do it? And
The Greg Leipzig.
Greg Leipzig.
Yes.
Anyways, doesn't matter what my reply was. He said, take 24 hours to think about it. I asked my two lovely children, who you saw up here, and is this PG or not? I think they said, Dad,
I want you to, Dave, I want you to be yourself.
Okay.
Because if you're not, they're going to hold you accountable.
I did put my filter in, so I'll be pretty good. My kids looked at me and said, don't be an asshole. So I phoned them back and I said, yeah, but that's fine. I mean, you know what? You were bugging me when we had lunch and saying, why aren't you out front? And I said, because when the company gives money, it's the company giving money. And you're doing it in relation to that. And, I don't know if it's just, everybody's got their own approach to life and living. There's no right and no wrong. But I've never felt that I wanted to and needed to be the person up front waving my flag. Says the asshole sitting up here in the chairs today. But it's a great piece. And I look at, I know a number of the people that have been inducted before, and they're such amazing parts of the community. And I did not know Jim Gauthier. I walked away from our meeting on Tuesday saying to Diane, oh my God, what an amazing guy. So to be part of it and to be doing it with him, kind of simple answer now.
Yeah, are we glad Dave agreed? Yes? Well, thank you for that. I just wanted you to come clean. Jim, you've received a number of awards over the years. I'm not going to ask you the same question, but the question that's on my mind, because we know your story. We know the Johnston Group story, because I want to find out what you're like as a person. What does an award like this, which is a 7-decade body of work, what does it mean to you? And hold that mic close to your mouth. Check, check.
After going through quite a turmoil rather, starting the business and losing the business and going bankrupt, and finally getting back on our feet, and there was a lot of people that helped us, and Winnipeg's been a great city to do business in. And I just felt we've come a long way and we want to share it. And we've found charities that we love donating to, and that's been my job now, is to give away a lot of the money that we've made, and to the right sources that we feel are the right sources. We can't give to everybody, naturally, but my wife was very involved with the Humane Society, and we just finished building 3 years ago. We spent $2 million and built them a beautiful training center for dogs that come up from the north that are ravenous dogs. They're not trained. They're anti-people, and the Humane Society trained the dogs so they can be adopted. And another great charity that we support is a Dream Factory, which is a great cause, and it's for terminal ill children that we send away on holidays. We send them wherever they want to go. And I started that with Grace Thompson 27 years ago. And our first dinner, we had 50 people, and we made $2,500 and sent one child away. Tomorrow night, we will have our annual do. We're sold out with 1,000 and some people. And we usually raise around $1 million.
So Jim, your body of work is inside this recognition this evening, obviously, by those two causes that you're near and dear to your heart. So I'm going to pivot on you now, and I want to talk to you both about adversity. We'll start with you, Jim. You talked a little bit about adversity. You went bankrupt. Then you went to your wife and said, I think I got another dealership I want to buy. Would you sign it? I'm not sure if I was married to you, Jim, I would be signing it. But she signed it. What did she see in you that you saw in yourself that could sell that? Because history was on, as you look back, it's easy now, you're successful. But you had to be nervous stepping into that next business, yes?
Well, the thing is, I never gave up. And I really believe if you want to be a good entrepreneur, you cannot give up. You got to just keep going at it and going at it till you get it, okay? And as you said in your photos there, that
Keep that microphone close to your mouth, Mr. Gauthier, or I'm going to
sorry,
get into
sorry,
trouble.
sorry. Anyways, we lost our home, and
You lost your home.
home, and Joyce had to go out to work. She worked the midnight shift at the hospital, cleaning bedpans, and Randy at that time was 6 years old, and he was just starting school, so she wanted to be there all the time when he was home, so she worked the midnight shift, and it wasn't a real good feeling for me when it was 35 below, and I was going into a nice warm bed, and she was going to work. Anyhow, I had an opportunity to buy this dealership. This is after we went broke and paid off our debts. And I went to her and I had to have her sign again. And she said, is this one going to be a good one? And I said, yeah, this will be a good one. And it turned out to be a real good one. And she was my rock. Without her, I don't know what I would have done. And
She passed away how many years ago?
She's been gone now 10 years.
I bet you miss her dearly.
Dearly. Every day I think of her. And I know my 4 grandchildren all miss her. And she was a special lady. And,
All right. Hold that thought. Okay, I may come back to it. But you lost your home. She had to go back to work. I don't know if anybody in this room has lost their home and gone back to work, but you prevailed. You didn't give up. And here you are. Here you are winning this prestigious award. That is so cool. Dave, when I look at you, I've known you for probably all the years you've been very successful, so I probably don't know what kind of adversity you've gone through. It almost feels like you haven't. Have you? Or as you've just lived this charmed life and everything has gone in a straight line? Am I full of shit?
Well, there's 2 questions there, Greg. Yeah, we'll have to. Do you want to go one-on-one? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's just.
Don't answer the second one
Yeah.
in your minds.
No, you know what? I think we've been pretty lucky from a business. You've put me in a very funny position. I'm staring straight at sort of some of our senior management team, people that have been with us 40. Well, somebody over there has been with us 40 years.
Okay, but show of hands, who's been here 40 years?
But I'm talking
30 years.
Like I don't know, but all sorts of years. But
Okay.
see, the one in the middle, Peter Pellick, Norm Shelton, and Chris Johnston kind of carried our company for 30 years while I ran around like a goofball. And my favorite story of these guys was we've been in business for about 14 or 15 years, and Peter and Chris were driving around back roads of Ontario talking to advisors because we wanted to set up something. In those days, if you wanted to quote on a little firm, you had to mail it back to the insurance company, and 5 weeks later they'd send you a quote. We wanted to give them something to quote on the spot. We thought this is going to be a great idea. And Chris had all these ideas, and Peter was driving along, and he said Chris had gone on for about half an hour, and he stopped, and he looked at him and he said, you know we're not making any money, don't you? And so I think, but you know, the Gauthier, I mean, it's the nature of family business. You've done the same thing. We've just poured everything back into it. We've been lucky that we haven't had big fall downs, but you just keep pouring everything you have back into that little thing and hope that the next dealership works, or the next plan works, or our next great idea works. And knock on wood, thanks to a whole bunch of pretty remarkable people and one kind of circus clown that was running around in a leadership role, it's gone along pretty okay.
In your early years, how many hours a week would you have worked in order to lay the foundation and build the business?
You know what, I don't...
Or did you just do what it took?
I wasn't a 90-hour-a-week person, but we'd work all day. We'd do kid stuff. I would bring work home and do it after the kids had gone to bed. But, you know, and certainly you'd sneak in weekends. I mean, the biggest issue in our household that we had to work around was because we only do, somebody else knows this answer better than me, we do 5 or 6% of our business in Manitoba. So in our early stages, I was out of town for some parts of 40 weeks a year. So you have to, you know, our household worked around that, but You know, I tried to make it back as much as I could, but Diane was obviously, while she was building her own business, was sort of managing that piece.
Yeah, so Jim kind of touched on it. I'm going to pivot again. You touched on your wife. So what I notice about successful entrepreneurs, male or female, they have a very strong support system in their house. Diane's, your lovely wife, is in attendance today. What does Diane mean, or what has she meant to you over the years, and how involved is she in terms of you making decisions as a family, as a couple, around the business? Yeah, that's the question. I got nothing else. That's the question.
Well, I mean, so Diane's business, she and her partner, who's here, set up a business 25 or 30 years ago doing leadership training. So, you know, obviously, if you've got issues going on in your business, who do you go to? You talk to somebody that does that sort of naturally. So I'm not necessarily sure that I always accepted all of her advice, but most of the time, and when I didn't, I smiled and just quietly did it on my own, whatever. But you know, you've got to have that support system. And you know, I mean, I listened to our two guys do something at our town halls yesterday and talk about, as your family has, they grew up in the business. You know, whether you don't necessarily need to be there every day, but that's what you do at the lake. You talk around, business comes up. So it's the nature of a family business.
Jim, you talked about Joyce being a rock for you in the manner that, for example, she demonstrated that in signing a document for you to open up another business, but your history in the business was one bankruptcy. In what other ways has she shown, give me one other example that she's shown that she's been a rock in your life? And hold that microphone really close to your mouth.
Well, let me explain the car business to you.
All right, we're going to keep this moderately short.
I always remember Joyce telling Randy's future wife at the time, when they got engaged, she wanted to give her a little lesson in being a wife to a car dealer. So let's say it's Saturday and we have one hell of a day, and I come home, I'm smiling like hell, and now she knows that's the attack time. She wants something, now's the time to ask, okay? She was teaching her future daughter-in-law how to be a car dealer's wife.
Did she, though? Did she capitalize on those up moments?
And if I'd come home on Monday, because now it's a whole new week,
Hold that microphone close.
forget Saturday, those deals are gone. Now I come home Monday and I'm smiling. She knew when to shut up. Okay, she knew when to pick her times, and she was always supportive, very supportive. I never had to be at home at 5 o'clock and never had to go shopping with her, none of that stuff. I was too busy working. So again, I truly, truly miss her, and I'm so blessed by having a great son and 4 grandchildren, and they're really filling the spot, the void that I miss with her.
I think I want to noodle around this question for a moment. Dave, I'll start with you. What's the reason or series of reasons why you're so successful, you and your organization? What is it about you, and you're probably going to, knowing you, deflect the answer of some way, but if you do, then what's going on inside your organization? Why are you so successful? Why do people want to stay with your company? Why do people want to work with your company that haven't yet been there? What's going on there? That's a serious question, by the way.
Don't tell them, Dave.
Yeah.
I want to learn something.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of sort of realistic. Okay, so let's go to me. I mean, these people know. I mean, I am a bit of a goofball. I talk about going to work. Basically, I just go in to annoy people. I mean, that's sort of what I wander around and do. But so I mean, honest. You asked me this question when we got for lunch. You said, "What's your biggest strength?" And I think honestly, my biggest strength is that I totally understand all my weaknesses. So I'm not trying to do stuff that I'm not very good at. So I'm pretty good at finding people that are really good at the things that I'm crappy at. I'm pretty good with people. I'm pretty good at some of the stuff that we need to do, pretty good with our advisors and with clients.
You are, because when I've had conversations with you, I've known you now probably 20 years, you kind of know what to say in any given moment. It's so cool, and it's not that you disarm people. People really like you, and you connect with them. So I see that, and that's obviously
if you can do that, then the key is to figure out what you can't do, and I know what I can't do. I'm pretty honest about that, and have been lucky enough. I go back to the three. I look at our senior management team now, the work that they do. I mean, but you ask us a company, and this is going to sound like a bizarre answer, and at least I think it's bizarre, but we've always talked about it. I think one of the real strengths of our company is that we are our biggest critics. We'll go out somewhere, talk to advisors, and they'll say, "Oh, you guys are amazing," and we'll go back and go, "Oh, they have no idea. We have so many things we need to do. You know, that's the best program ever," and we're going, "Okay, well, we're about a third of the way through." So I think being your own, like being realistic as to who you really are, and as a company, stop reading the press clippings and going back and doing what you really need to do, figuring out all the stuff that's there, and you can pat yourself on the back for 8 seconds and then get on to all the stuff that you know is there that really needs to get done.
But why are most companies, or a large percentage of companies, not brutally honest with themselves inwardly? Why is that? And you've explained you do it, but many companies have difficulty.
Well, in our business, it's funny, and Barb's here, and John, but the benefits business is the same as the payroll business. Our competitors are all huge companies, and they're really good at patting themselves on the back and thinking they've done everything well. So I don't know why, but I love it. It's a great piece of business.
Jim, what's going on with you and your family? Why are you so successful? Why have you been so, why have you had such a great market share? You're the big, we'll talk about the big guy in a second, but what's going on with you in terms of your success? What is one or two things you can share about that?
Well, to comment what Dave just said, you're only as good as your people. And if you have good people, you'll do well. And we've been very fortunate in selecting great people to work with us. We've had employees that are with us 40 years, have employed us with me 50 years. And we strive to give great service, because in the car business, service is everything. The sales department sells the first car to the customer, and the service department sells everyone thereafter.
Get that microphone close. I'm so sorry. Don't look at me like that, or I'm going to leave the stage. I'm leaving. Okay, keep going.
Okay, so anyhow.
He knew all along! He knew all along!
As I was saying, our sales department sells you your first car, and our service department sells you everyone thereafter. So it's very important to give good service, and we strive in that. We'll do everything we possibly can to keep the customer happy. Now, as you know, there might be one or two in this room that you can't keep happy, okay? But in most cases we can, and we strive to do that. And I'm very proud of our employees, and we're very fortunate to have such great employees. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've been successful.
In the vehicle or automotive business, marketing is a big part of gaining presence to gain business. How many people in this room know Jim Gauthier as the big guy? Me included. So, Jim Gauthier, how is it that you're called the big guy?
That's one of the reasons I haven't been able to lose any weight. I don't want to blow this persona I got, okay? Anyways, that started back in 1981. And we had an advertising agency. We just had hired by the name of Palmer Jarvis. And they came up with the big guy. And there was a program called WKRP. For
In
some of you
Cincinnati.
people that my age might remember that, or a little younger. Anyways, the guy that ran the studio, the radio station, was called the Big Guy. So that's what they started calling me, was the Big Guy. And we had our commercials done by, some of you maybe remember Laurie Mustard. And that really brought our name out to the public.
The big guy. You guys could sell your businesses right now and call it a day. The question is for both of you. Dave, why don't you just, your business is prosperous, there's a lot of big companies out there, why don't you just sell the business and call it a day? What's holding you back?
4 grandkids.
And we're going to touch on succession planning. But Dave, why not sell? Jim, why not sell? I mean, bigger seem to get bigger. Dave, do you want to run with it? Do you want to keep going? What do you want to do? Dave, for that reason alone, why don't you sell that business? You get offers. What's going on?
Put the mic up, that's right. Sorry.
That's right, Jim.
I'm just kidding.
Right?
Well, I mean, I think I alluded to it in that bizarre interview. The thing. But you asked me you know what the answer to this is, because I told you the answer.
I want to know.
We did this at rehearsal, didn't we?
Yeah. When people phone, they used to phone all the time and say, "We want to sell your company," and I say, "No, you don't want to say. No, we're not interested." Well, why not? And then you get the, and I apologize to any Torontonians here, but you get the Torontonian sort of going, "Hey, you could buy the house of your dreams." I said, "I live in Winnipeg. I live in the house I want to live in." "Well, you could buy a cottage." I said, "I live in Winnipeg. Everybody's got a cottage." Like, stop it. Like that, like, don't be an asshole. And they say, "Well, you could go south. You could do this." Anyways, that never worked. So I finally get down to a simple phrase. You said,
I'm listening.
I said, "I can't sell it to you because you'd fuck it up." But you know what? And it's interesting because there's lots of people that have come through this, but I think Jim's in the same position. You can do things as a family company that's privately owned. You can invest in stuff. You know, you'd said to me, what if somebody dropped a big bag of money on your desk? And the fact is, the first thing that happens is they find synergies. So synergies mean simply that they're going to lay 100 people off. So they're going to get rid of 100 of your people right off the bat. So it's not a synergy. They're just going to clean house. And then they got to find money. So where do you find money in a company like ours? You start by saying, well, you know, you guys pay these. We have a growth bonus. We pay $10,000 last year, I think, to every employee. 300, 400 employees, figure out the numbers of that. Well, there's an easy save of money. We give away a couple $1 million. Oh, we'll cut that out. So you do all of that stuff. You stop doing customer experience, and you end up with a crappy company. And then once the big crappy company has turned your company into a crappy little subsidiary of theirs, then they're going to take the rest of the employees and they're going to lay them all off and move the jobs to Toronto. So it doesn't seem like a good deal to me. That's I said I was going to put my filter in tonight, and I think I made a mistake. I
This
apologize.
is a great entry point into succession planning because both of you have family businesses. Jim, let's talk about the next generation of Jim Gauthier Automotive Group. What are the plans? Who's going to handle it? I know Randy is the guy, but you actually said to me one time your lives have kind of switched straight now. So you're around and he's enjoying some time down south, but also your grandkids now are showing the DNA that's required in order to carry on the legacy. Is there going to be a third generation, or is that already in place?
Well, all 4 of them are very involved in the business now. They've got the car oil in their blood, okay? They've grown up around the car business all their life, and they're very good at what they do. They probably never heard that coming out of my mouth before.
This is being taped, so you can replay it back and forth.
But anyways, Randy's really raised four great kids, okay? And I hope when Copa pulls up, okay, that they will be there to continue the business on. And I have tonight with us two of our partners in our business with us, Jason Cross and Kevin Schumacher. So as soon as they're ready to retire, I got four grandkids that are waiting to take over. Okay? And I don't think that these two guys are going too fast. But anyways, we're looking to buy more dealerships if we can. It's very difficult today to do that. The manufacturer, if you take a look at most of the dealerships today are groups. There's only 2 dealerships in the city of Winnipeg that are privately owned. The rest are all in groups. You got Auto Canada, we got Birchwood. They're all groups, and the groups don't sell. So to find dealerships locally to buy is very difficult. And I prefer, if we're going to buy locally because we know the market. And but I really think that just seeing how my grandkids are working out now, that they'll do very well in the future.
Dave, this is going to sound like an odd question, but I'm going somewhere with it. Who owns the Johnston Group? Is it you and Diane? Is it a trust? And then what's the plan for, if you're not selling, who's looking after the Johnston Group when you decide to leave, if you decide to leave?
Well, the company's owned by the Johnston family, and that's sort of, that's a simple part. I'm not involved in any of the day-to-day, haven't been for 4, 5, 6 years. I decided that we preach succession to all of our advisors, so it was my feeling that I needed to do the same thing, to set an example. So I was out of my chair before I was 65, right around 65, and I looked really hard in the community, found an amazing person to step in and run it, and he is running it on a day-to-day basis, and doing a great job, and he's built a super senior management team.
The community's a big fan of Dave Angus, his former chamber.
And I wasn't looking for smarts in the insurance business. I can teach the insurance business. I was looking for integrity and all of those kind of things. So we've proved that you can have somebody else run it. So the decision to what will happen down the road will probably be up to Matt and Will as to how they want it to run and what they want to do with it. And that's sort of a to be determined kind of piece. But we know we can run the company with other people, giving limited oversight. I mean, I don't often go into Dave's office and say, I got a better idea than you do, but
if you did,
we do chat. But the senior management group runs 99.4% of the business on a day-to-day basis. So we proved we can do that, and that allows us. Whether the boys want to run it or not is a different question. So, but that'll be their decision, and that'll be their decision when they're ready to make that decision.
they'll be involved in one facet or another, but that's yet to be determined.
Yeah, whether they are owner-operators or owners or whatever, that's a determination that they'll have to make. And I think that's the same in lots of businesses, is figuring out, we've talked about it over the years. I know Barb and I talked about it a million times. There's an owner hat and there's an operator hat. And even if you're doing both, you have to know when to put your owner hat on and do owner decisions and put your operator hat on and make operator decisions. So they'll figure that out. And they may ask me for my input, but I hope not.
I think I'm going to ask one more question before we go into the rapid fire questions. You gentlemen, I have so much respect for you. You have so much experience. You have so much wisdom just by living as long as you have and as being successful as you had and then giving back to the community. If you had to do it all over again, looking back, and that is a compliment, if you had to do it all over again, looking back, Jim, what's one thing you would do differently?
Not one.
I didn't hear that. Could you put your mic to your mic?
No, it's been a trip all the way. I've enjoyed it. I guess if I could do it over again, and I have no control of it, I'd like Joyce to be at my side. That I can't control. But I had grade 8 education. In fact, I think I flunked 8. I'm pretty sure I did. Anyhow, I was street smart. I learned my business on the street. And my grandkids have all gone. We have a college in Barrie, Ontario called Georgian College, and it's an automotive college. And most of them went to the Georgian College. I have one of my grandkids that's a real sport, and he didn't want to go there because it's cold. So we had one in Florida, and he went to Florida for it, had his 2 years in Florida. So they've all been trained in the car business. They understand it, and I just feel I'm very blessed, and I don't think I'd change anything.
That's so cool.
I'm still working on the having lived as long as you've lived comment, Greg. I'm sorry about that. You know, I think I'm probably in the same boat as Jim. I can't think of any. We've done lots of stuff that we shouldn't have done and made mistakes along the way, but while they were kind of a pain in the ass when you were doing them, I think we learned from them, at least in our place. And I think if you don't trip a few times, you decide you're invincible, and that's when you get yourself into big trouble. So I would go along with Jim. I'm quite comfy with most things that we've done, and I can't think of what I would change at any point in time. I had the advantage of answering second, and I still couldn't come up with anything that. I think it's mistakes aren't a bad thing. Tripping and falling, you know, whether it's a 2-year-old or a 32-year-old or a 52-year-old, tripping and falling is a good wake up of, you know, not to do that in the morning because it really hurt last night when I did it. So
I'm okay with that answer. I'm okay with it. So I'm going to stop the sort of the conversation part, and you guys stay around if anybody wants to connect with you here. Yeah, please do. If you have any other questions you might have of them, by all means, connect with them tonight, or open the door to phone them or connect with them by email in one way or another. So this is the part of the event that's it's also an added bit of fun. It's called rapid fire questions. I ask a question. They don't know what the question is, and I want an answer from them, whatever comes to their mind. And they don't know what they are, so 7 questions each, and I'll do my best not to rebuke or respond to any of them. We're just going to keep going. Here we go. Jim Gauthier, question number 1. In a word, how would you describe yourself?
Aggressive.
Dave Johnston, the same question. In a word, how would you describe yourself?
oh my God. First word that comes to mind is schmuck. So I try to.
Jim Gauthier, number 2. What profession other than your own would you like to have attempted?
Probably the insurance business.
I'm thinking the auto business.
I'm going to go with the same question, Dave Johnston. What profession other than your own would you have liked to attempt?
You can get even.
Well, I am thinking the auto business, but you know what? I mean, like, what would I rather have done? Like, if I wasn't going to be selling something, seriously, I would love to be a golf course starter or something like that. That's, like, to me, like, seriously, that is what I would really have fun doing.
Jim Coche, question number 3. Out of all the automobiles that you have driven over the last 7 decades, which one have you loved the most, or what's one you have loved most to drive?
Cadillac.
Dave Johnston, question number 3. Out of all the golf courses, and you are a golfer, you have golfed, what is one of them that felt like you were in golf heaven?
St. Andrews.
Jim Gauthier, question number 4. Yeah, he said St.
Andrews.
St. Andrews, Scotland.
Scotland.
The,
Sorry about that. I could have expounded, but it was...
you were thinking St. Andrews, Manitoba, weren't you? Yeah.
Well, it's a great because it's only a half-hour drive from downtown, you know.
On the way to the cottage,
Yeah,
yes.
Cart person, good food, cheap beer. It's just right.
Jim Gauthier, question number 4 of 7. What is one thing about the car business you would like to change?
Well, I'd like people to come in and buy a car and just pay what we ask instead of negotiating.
Dave Johnston, question number 4. What is one piece of life advice you could give anyone starting out in life?
Starting out in life? Like, I mean, like in
Well,
business
like
or?
JA, young people,
Young entrepreneur.
not babies.
Yeah, you know what? I mean,
I thought that was implied.
and so I would, you know, if you've got a chance to go to university or go to post-secondary and you can do it, that's great. And, you know, obviously you start with that as a wish, but it's interesting. So, you know, Jim dropped out in grade 8. I hated school, literally hated school. I joked to people because I did grades 1, 2, and 3 in 2 years, and then I got put into major work. So I tell people my academic career peaked in grade 4. You know, I was by high school not going. I got through grade 12 somehow. I went to university, but I played cards and left after 2 years at 19 and said, this is stupid. So I think the advice would be, no matter what you want to do, just put your nose to the grindstone and make it work. You can do it. And, you know, I talked about schmuck. I mean, I don't necessarily think I'm a schmuck, but you know, I think anybody can do anything. And that's what JA tells every kid, that, you know, everybody can do something. You just have to figure out what it is. And if you figure out what you like to do, just go do it. It's easy.
This whole idea of you not liking school, you dropping out of grade, I need to remind you, my daughter is in attendance. She's in grade 11. I want her to graduate.
I started with post-secondary discussion. That's
Jim Gauthier, question number 5. What is one value or belief you would want Randy and your grandchildren to carry on from you?
Read it again, please.
What is one value or belief you would want Randy or your grandchildren to carry on from you? What's one characteristic of you you would like your legacy to continue inside your child and grandchildren?
Well, I'd like them just to run our business the way we're running it now, to continue giving good service and making sure they're hiring the right people going forward. As I said before, you're only as good as your people. And I think they will do that because they've been around me for the last 28 years, and they know how we run a business.
Did you guys get that answer? Dave Johnston, similar question, but I'm dying on the question. Question 5, what is one value or belief you would want your 2 sons to carry on from you?
I guess I'll go away from the business side. I would hope that they would appreciate and realize that there's a real commitment, I believe, and I hope they believe, to, we're in a small city, and it needs businesses to step up, and if a business our size in Toronto gives X, I think you need to give 2X or 3X or 4X. And so I hope it's that commitment to caring for the community the way that, that we have the opportunity to do and the way that, that we should. That would be what I would hope they'd carry on.
Jim Gauthier, question number 6. It's a heavy one. Are you afraid to die? Are you afraid to die? No, not tonight, Dave. I got some ooze. The question is, are you afraid to die?
I'm not looking forward to it.
You see, he bailed me out. I felt it. I felt it. How else are we going to get to know them? Dave Johnston, question number 6. How do you want to be remembered?
You know what? It's funny. I think people will remember me the way they see me, and some will be positive, and I hope more positive than negative. But I don't have any I don't have huge ego piece, so I'm not looking for statues or bronze things. I hope at the end of the day I've not made a complete asshole of myself, and they remember me relatively well.
Question number 7, the final question. Jim Gauthier, what do you know for sure? What do you know for sure?
Back to dying again.
No, but I think I'm dying up here. What do you know for sure, Jim? And hold that microphone close to your mouth.
I'm not sure I know anything for sure. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't tell you. I just hope things carry on the way they are, and I have good health for a few more years and enjoy seeing my business flourish, and along with my grandchildren.
One final question in the rapid fire questions, but not so rapid fire. Same question. Dave Johnston, what do you know for sure?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good answer to that, isn't it?
I know you don't know, but if you did know, what would you say?
And this is for our mayor. I know for sure that our city is in good time. We've got a lot of stuff going on, but I think we're moving forward. I just see things that are happening in the community, things that are happening in areas of the community that I think this city's got a great, big, fun future, and we just need to make sure that we get it there. So I think I know that for sure. Luckily, I'm 7 years old, so I may not be around to make that prediction come through, but I think Winnipeg, I know for sure that Winnipeg is going in the right direction, and that's kind of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, our 36th and 37th inductee in the Manitoba Business Hall of Fame, Mr. Jim Gauthier and Mr. Dave Johnston.
I know for sure that this part's over.
That concludes the evening. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for being a big part of it. Congratulations, gentlemen, and we hope to see you at the 11th annual, whenever that may be, in about a year from now. Jim, do you want to say something final?
Yeah. Seeing that they're talking about dying, I have a joke for you before you leave. Okay?
Jim Gauthier has a joke on your time. Let's listen. Jim, over to you.
There was this Jewish couple in the 90s, lived in New York. They've never been to Israel. So he convinced her to take a trip to go to Israel. So they got to Israel, and the next morning she died. So he went to the undertaker and he said, "How much is it going to cost to ship her back to New York?" He said, "About $5,000. But he said, "Why would you want to do that? You're in the Holy Land." He said, "I can have her buried for $200. okay, he said, let me think about it. Came back the next day and he said, ship it to New York. He said, well, again, why? He said, well, I read years ago where there was this guy. He died, and 3 days later he was risen from the dead. And I can't take that chance.
Good night, everybody. Stick around if you want. The 2024 10th Annual Manitoba Business Hall of Fame is officially done. Good night, God bless, and go Jets go. Yeah, well, they just have a body of work of life, eh? Anyway. I'll grab one of my kids to get that. Yeah, for sure.